In this video, we'll be dealing with the queue interface. Just like set and list, the queue interface is also a core interface in the collection framework, but this one is used to store elements in a queue. A queue is a data structure where elements are added to the end and removed from the front. It's a bit special in that sense, just like queues for a counter in a show. There's actually also special queues, where you can also add to the front or remove from the end. Queues are great whenever you need to work with the first in, first out or last in, first out structures. Let's explore them in IntelliJ. Alright, let's create a queue. And I'm going to create a queue by saying this, and I'm going to make a queue of strings. And then I'm going to say new array deck. Often also called DQ, but since it only has one UE, I think we should say deck. But, well, I don't know. You can call it whatever. I'm going to say array deck. So how to use this array deck? Well, it actually has this special quality of a queue that we can both remove and add from both ends of the queue. So it's a very special queue in that sense. It's double-ended. So what can I do? Well, I can go ahead and I can say add, and then I can go ahead and specify some sort of string. And I can go ahead and add another element. Let's go ahead and add Python in as well. And let's add one more. So right now, I only have limited options available, only the ones that are available in queue. Why? Because on line 8, I made it type queue. And actually, our array deck is of deck type. So we can also choose to update this to be of type deck. And then we actually have some more methods available, but these are not available on all the queues. So you can see right now we have a add first and a add last to modify where to add those. But as you can see, there's also other methods. We have pop. So with pop, we can go ahead and grab the last one that was added. But we could also use peek, and peek we can see which one is on the top, so which one we would be removing. And with push, we could go ahead and add to the top of our queue. So these are some important methods to work with on queues, and it probably takes some practice to get used to these. Just like the list and the set, we can use the for each on the queues as well. We can also use the remove methods. So right now, I want to go ahead and show you what the queue looks like at this point. We have Java, Python, and C#. So let's see what happens when we go ahead and we pop one element and then print it again. As you will see, the first element, so the element on top, was removed. So let's now go ahead and use the add first. And let's just insert Java again as the first, and then do another add last here. And we're going to be inserting Rust. So I'm going to print it and run it again. And as you can see right now, the Java is actually in the first position because we used add first. Python and C# are in the middle, and at the very end is Rust because we did add last. So if you go ahead and do pop right now, Java is going to be popped and not Python, even though it was first in line just before we did this add first. We can also go ahead and do a peek. So I'll say peek. And after that, it's still intact. So we still have all the elements in our list. Let me show you. It's just printing the first element that would be popped. And instead of pop, we could also use poll. We could go ahead and say poll. And we actually have the option poll first and poll last here. So poll first in this case would go ahead poll Java, poll last would poll Rust. And then let's go ahead and print it again. And as you can see, Rust was polled, and then after that we had our original list back. So classes that implement the queue interface allow us to create collections that we can work with in a last in first out or a first in first out way. The next video is the last one on the collection framework. We'll look at the map interface. Maps actually work a bit different than the other collections we've seen so far.